Last weekend, I was speaking to a friend who have lived in Uganda for a long time, and he decided to come back home. He told me that, my friend, what I'm going to tell you is going to hurt. I love Uganda so much. I've spent so many years living and working in Uganda. But I decided to come back home because things are not going very well as he thought it was going to be. He didn't want to be a part of a corrupt system, although he has worked there for a long time. He told me, my friend, the Uganda you knew is no longer there. It is full of people who are corrupt, and the nation is at the edge of falling apart. It is heading for a disaster. Everybody you meet is morally bankrupt, selfish. Uganda politics is corrupt. Even the men of God are not spared. The men of God who are supposed to help people are also blindfolded and locked up in praising the power of man rather than the God we have to worship. Everything that the politician put their hand on die. Nobody no longer care about people. The eyes are all focused on money. They are ready to get rid of anybody who stands between them and their money. He was wondering what went wrong. How did we as Ugandans let corruption go so far? Jobs are being given to relatives with no skills. Something has gone wrong with your country, my friend, they say. Even ministers are above the law. They won't give you any project before you cough a big percentage of money before you win that contract. They won't give you a loan even if you go to the bank before you promise those managers a big sum of money. Corruption has become a norm in Uganda. Everyone is a thief in their own shadow. If you stand in their way, they will get rid of you. or you will be eliminated. And when you are killed, there's no justice. The killer will never be brought to justice because they will walk out free, which is a shame to a judiciary system in your own country. As I speak to you, he said, donors are withholding their budgetary support to Uganda until 2021. And if they do, Uganda will not be able to finance 40% of its annual budget, what is going on in part of Africa, he said. The leaders in Uganda has become a problem to their own people. They are all in for double deals and want to keep their own source of income, whatever happens. Member of Parliament have lost it all. They are no longer the check and balance to control the government. They're no longer. They just want to lick their hands and save a day. Just lick their hand and save a day. That's what the man told me. The Governor Bank of Uganda just gave us a warning that the government borrowing has gone out of hand simply because we think we have oil. And when we start producing that oil, then it will help us pay the loan we are getting from foreign countries. We keep on borrowing money from foreign countries against the future oil revenue. We sold the oil even before we started producing it. That expectation of oil revenue blindfolded all the leaders in Uganda. And everybody is going for expensive loan to finance infrastructure projects. And believe me, my brother, when I decided to leave Uganda, it hurts because my heart is in Uganda and my body is now back to my homeland. It is a shame. It is not going to take long before those who are funding a project in Uganda start taking over. And Uganda is going to be mortgaged to the Chinese. That is going to happen, believe me or not. It's going to happen. It is going to happen very soon, my brother. That country is going down and is very painful. He said, I asked myself, do I still need to stay here and be a part of the corruption and be a part of destruction that is being caused by greedy people in Uganda? That is why I decided as a professional that I will not be able to tell myself or forgive myself with all I saw with my own eyes, how matters are being handled, how corruption is consuming everybody. It is from top to bottom. Everything is rotten. Everything is rotten, my brother. We are just thinking and talking of financing infrastructure. But when you look at Ugandans, they are very happy because the roads are being built, but nobody seems to understand where that money is coming from. We are all saying, yeah, that is a very good development. Uganda is moving forward. But the fact is, who is going to pay the bill? Who is going to pay the bill? We are basing the financing of those infrastructure on loan already placed on the oil, which is not yet being produced. What we want is to finance infrastructure development, which is going the wrong way. We are involved in expensive borrowing simply because we base our argument on imaginary income, on oil that Uganda will not produce until after 2023. That is when they will start producing that oil. And that oil is already sold. I believe, as I said before, Uganda oil is sold already in advance. Even if we start producing that oil, the money will go to pay debt promised to people, or to pay the cost of jet fighters we bought to protect oil. As one minister said some years back, they're buying jet fighters to protect the oil. And the ordinary people of Uganda will not benefit from that oil at all. That oil is turning into a curse. You may be happy that road, electricity, and railway infrastructure is being built. We all know that China is one of Uganda's biggest country lender, with more than 3 billion development project. You have the Karuma Dam, Karuma and Isimba dams, Entebbe Expressway, Kabale International Airport, Entebbe Airport. These are all built on loan we borrowed from the Chinese. And it won't surprise me if we fail to pay the Chinese back their money. There are possibilities that the country will be mortgaged to China for a very long time. Now, something has gone wrong with Uganda. something has gone wrong with Uganda. Not long ago, I read somewhere that the president just took a telephone and called the Ministry of Works, asking them to give a Chinese company a contract to build Kampala-Jinja Highway. Kampala-Jinja Highway is already mortgaged to the Chinese company. The president claimed that he has talked to the constructors. They have their own money. They are going to invest it. And when they finish building that highway, Kampala-Jinja Highway, then the arrangement is simple. The Chinese company that is going to construct that highway will have the right to collect money, the toll. He has given the toll collection to the Chinese. How long will it take for that man or woman or that company to collect toll, to pay for the project they finance? We are looking at 50 years. We are going to have Chinese sitting there or employing some few people to say, you collect for me the tolls. And even after 50 years, we would have not yet paid for that project. Maybe it would have been wise for the president to say, okay, I'm going to give you that, and I'm also going to give you a bonus. That is the Uganda nationality. It is a shame for a country to mortgage a part of the state to a foreign state. It is so how stupid we are that we want to do anything in our power to please the ordinary people. And the ordinary people are dancing on the street to say, look, we have a government who is bringing us development, the roads are okay, but it is you and me and our grandchildren who are going to suffer paying back that loan for a very long time to come. We have not learned from other countries who have failed to pay back Chinese loan. And the Chinese has taken over until they get their money. And believe me, when we had the discussion with my friend who just came back, I realized that Uganda is for sale. What a sad day for the people of Uganda. It is a pity that even the parliament, which should have been a check and balance to control what the president is doing is now consumed also in bad behavior. In bad behavior. Some of you may not believe what people are saying about what is happening in Uganda. You can quote me again that in the long run, it is our grandchildren who are going to pay a heavy price. Believe me, you'll prove me wrong or right. The time is coming when the truth will be told. We all know that madness is the act of repeating the same words over and over while no seeds grow in that field. Opposition in Uganda are the same seeds that fail to germinate. In that process, they turn to clone seeds just to stay where they are. We have a very long way to go. And we are going to suffer, and we will keep suffering. But the new generation, whether they dream of change, whether they dream of a better life, they should realize that a country that is already brought down by corruption and people are morally bankrupt from the grassroots to the top is going to cost us a lot in future. To my best friend, he is fighting his own conscience because he worked there for a long time. He saw what was happening. And now he realized that he cannot be himself if he doesn't tell a story to people like me, who we say Uganda. I took his word seriously when he told me things has gone wrong. The Ugandan I know, they are all corrupt and morally bankrupt. Everything we do, we seek comfort in things like National Prayer Day. You can pray for many years, but God is not coming down to change the system you are in. You can pray in a garage for your health, but that God is not going to come down and change the situation you are creating. Let's hope we wake up for the new generation and try to stop this nonsense once and for all. Thank you for listening. I hope you will wake up, Uganda. Thank you for listening. We'll see you soon.